we Mike Schmaltz and I like to affectionately call these Lancer Talk because we're all Lancers. And so
And
I'm
you're
just,
affectionate.
yeah,
Schmaltzy, turn that video on, Pipes.
yeah, Mr. Schmaltz, come say hello to
Jesus.
everybody. So we're gonna have Mike Schmaltz get on here so we can.
There he is.
So we've got Erich Nus coming all the way from where are you at, Erich?
Northwest coast.
What's the city in Washington, Erich?
It's you could call it Edison, but it's in it's almost up by Bellingham. Let's just do that. Washington.
It is awesome to see you. I am actually in West Lafayette. Tony, where are you at?
I'm right here next to you.
Next to me in West Lafayette.
You're just right
Mike
there.
Williams, where are you coming from?
St. Joe.
St. Joseph, Michigan. Todd Tiefenbach, where are you living these days?
Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Awesome.
Oh.
Close to Chicago?
Yeah, western suburbs.
Mr. Dowell will be there tomorrow. He's driving up. I'll make sure he stops by and brings you some Bud Light. Parry Metz,
I'm flying to Vegas in the morning, so you could.
You could say hi to Krista while you're out there.
We have a rule. We have a rule.
Very nice.
Anybody going to Vegas has to tell me, because then I go with them. Todd, do you
enough.
not know this?
Broke the rule already.
All right, Parry, where are you coming
That's more my rule. It's more my rule. You don't have to tell me, but if I'm told, I have to
I
go.
can choose to adhere to it or not.
Yeah, but since I brought Vegas to me, I don't have to do that anymore. But
Parry, where are you at? Are you in Indiana somewhere?
I'm in Indiana. We say Indiana. In Indiana.
But where in Indiana? Like you in West Lafayette?
Chesterton. So about.
That? Oh,
40
Chesterton. You're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure you've been to the Taco Bell in Chesterton. Everybody's, we've got the best McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell on your way to Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Right by the Indiana Dunes.
Love it. Mike Schmaltz, you're back in St. Joe, right?
Correct.
Andy,
Mike, did you pay the heat bill?
he's got his hat on.
Yeah, but I'm always cold, so
Okay. Make sure.
Live from
You need any help
Hudsonville
with
tonight, Schmaltzy.
what's that?
Live from Hudsonville.
Nice. Hey, guys. So for anybody that's seen these, Andy's idea was, hey, look, we got Harding's baggers. And if you guys can see behind me, and I really can't move that easily, and I'm much too big these days, maybe I'll get down here a little bit. Tony's got his cat here. So you guys can see the bagger photo, which I sent to all of you on text. So the thought here was just a lot of you guys, including Kelly Boyer and Larry Blahnik, rest in peace, were baggers at Harding's. And we were talking a little bit about this. There were probably certainly people before you that were baggers.
Yeah.
Years you guys were there. But our thought was just, let's have a fun call, talk a little bit about what's going on in your lives. But more importantly, if you guys want to talk a little bit about what bagging life was, I'm going to kick it off just by saying something here up front. So I did a little bit of research, and you guys probably know all this. But Harding's, 80-year-old business, family owned. They were really, not going to get, the big IGAs and the other people's Spartan stores. They were going to be independent, family owned. There's still one in Coloma, St. Joe. You guys that live back there know there's still a few of them.
Yep.
The one that you guys affectionately worked at, eventually that business was sold off. I think there was a D&W there for a while, and then they made a plaza, and now today there's a Martin's on that property. But looking back on it, I think that bagging, back when I was a kid, I remember this was an art, right? There were no plastic bags. You guys had to bag in paper bags. I have no idea if you guys just were baggers, if you carried it out to people's cars, if you got tips, if you had to, do stocking as well. And so for the group, where do we want to start, Andy? What's easy? Because I'd really love to know why you guys got started in it, how that became your job, right? Everybody's parents said, hey, go get a damn job. Some of us worked in restaurants. Some of us worked God knows where. A bunch of you all ended up at Harding's. How did that happen? And what was it like? I heard stories of people throwing cans at people and people being drunk and a little bit of other fun stuff. So who wants to kick us off? Tell us some good stuff about what Harding's was all about.
No, I, in my mind, for some reason, I think Erich had the most seniority of this crew.
Really?
I don't remember the overall. What was the overall pecking order?
I think it began with legacy because Eric's brother Paul and my brother Denny were there, and so it became kind of like almost like a family business.
And then my little brother followed me. And speaking of which, I actually came across, speaking of legacy, the blue tie that I wore. that my brother wore before me, and then I handed down that blue polyester tie, which I never unknotted. I used to just loosen it and drag it up over my head, and I instructed my little brother to do the same. So that blue polyester stained, skanky, disgusting tie I found also.
You say you found it. You
I
still
thought
have
you were going to say you still had your vest. You still had your orange and brown vest.
Like I said, yeah, well, the orange one. I don't know. I don't remember the brown one, but I came
remember the
across
brown
my
one.
orange vest a couple, 2-3 years ago. It's around here somewhere. And also, I was mentioning earlier the name tag with all the Chiquita banana stickers covering my name.
You have it?
Hardings require you guys to wear a tie?
Yes.
Yeah,
At the beginning, I think that went
I don't
away.
think we ended up.
He was a bit of a dandy back then. He found his own tie. They required it. What kind of question is that?
Because I'm curious. I go to a grocery store today and look for a kid with a tie.
Look for a kid
Right.
out here, man. They're 50 years plus.
So just bagging, or did you guys stock? What else did you do in the store besides just bagging people groceries?
We collected pop cans. We
Yeah.
had to count for those.
Yeah.
We
How
shoplifted.
many went in the bag? You remember?
What's that?
How many went in the bag? Do you remember? We had to count them.
What, the cans?
Yeah.
I have no
Remember, they're
idea.
in the 240. We had to count 240 cans and put them in the big bags. Remember?
No one remembers that. No one would remember that. There's only so much room up here. Why would anybody fucking remember? Excuse me. Why would anybody remember that?
Especially, why would I remember that when Larry Plonick was doing all the work?
You know, Perry, right before you logged in, Eric said Perry's going to remember some crazy, weird shit. And I mean, he nailed it. If
Yeah,
there was-
and we're off. Yeah,
if
we're
there
off
was
to
a
the
bet,
races.
he got it within like the under for sure.
So, Pat, there were all kinds of different shenanigans going on there on any given moment. All right. And my particular favorite was we would go in the back room when the traffic slowed down at the checkout. A couple of us would peel off. You'd go in the back room to sort the cans because they don't have the machines that we have today. And we would stand there like there would be these skids coming in of 2 liters of soda, right? And we'd stand, we had this little game of Russian roulette where we would just get a 2 liter and just stand there and shake these 2 liters of soda up, right? And then put them back and laugh to ourselves knowing that someone was buying that sucker at some point, right? And one night after a basketball game, Norm Payne and he was dating Debbie Broadfield, and we went over to the Broadfield's house. We stopped at Harding's and we bought some Faygo Red Pop. And we were in the Broadfield's kitchen, and Norm took the top off, and that sucker went off like a grenade, which Norm and I both knew what had happened. So we immediately erupted in laughter because we knew it was kind of a what goes around comes around moment, right? Debbie Broadfield and her parents did not find it nearly as amusing as we did with the Faygo Red Pop spraying all over their kitchen. But
Who put in it? Because my kids' generation, they were putting those white candies in them.
Mentos. Yeah.
Mentos. And that makes them fizz up. What were you guys doing to it to make it blow up?
Just good old fashioned shake it up real long time and real hard. And okay, who remembers the story with Hagenauer and Bob Blackburn? Who wants to tell that one with the incinerator?
Don't remember it.
Yes,
You remember that we got to
Eric,
go-
what did I tell you when you
Well, I remember Hagenauer. That was kind of a gag of Hagenauer's. Whenever somebody was taking stuff to the incinerator, he'd always throw a can of WD-40 in there, hide it in one of the bags so that, the can would blow up and you'd get hit with a fireball in the face. But I don't remember Bob Blackburn particularly. It seems like someone did get scorched pretty badly in the face.
Yeah.
And maybe it was Bob. Maybe he lost his eyebrows or something.
Grocery stores these days equipped with incinerators.
Well, they took that one away. Remember when they redesigned the store? they put in the trash compactor.
Seems like a bad idea.
I just remember that double door. Remember when you dragged down the one, it closed the other? I didn't know about a gag. I just thought every time when they sent you back there to burn cardboard, you'd go down the aisle, grab a can of WD-40 off the shelf, go back there, get it started, and then you'd throw the can in with the cardboard. I mean, that was just what you did.
And then quickly close it.
Standard procedure.
And then as you were walking out into the store to do whatever else you weren't supposed to do, you'd hear that muffled explosion back there. I mean, that was just a matter of course.
So this picture, they put in the yearbook, that's the 84 yearbook. It looks, Todd, like it says on the description that you're pushing a cart with Andy in it. Do you remember,
Yeah.
Like, do you guys remember staging that photo, or them saying, hey, we're going to put this in your yearbook, or did they just someone just came along and took a picture while you guys were goofing around?
Yeah, we staged that because look at the team photo, and for whatever reason, Todd and I couldn't be there for that. So we got our own. But you can see that was when the store was under construction. You can see it's all plywooded in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I was in construction.
Mhm. I don't know what year. Probably winter of '84.
I think actually, yeah. It
No,
was our senior year for sure. It was when Mike was introduced to the team. Remember the new the corporate guy who was going to come clean up.
and
Shot.
who and replaced who?
Jim.
Nichols, right?
Which should we all right now here raise a glass and a toast to
Or a
Jim Nichols?
cigarette. If you have a cigarette, raise it to Jim Nichols.
The best boss that any high school ne'er-do-well could ever hope to work for. I mean, Jim Nichols was the best boss. Can anybody remember going up to Jim and asking him to take a break?
Give you a break when I hired you.
You go find him wherever he was, and then you'd have to ask Jim to go take your break. And whatever he was doing, you'd go up to him. Hey, Jim, can I take my break right now? And he would stare at you. Break. When he walk up to you with his cigarette breath, he would tighten your tie up under your cheek, under your chin, and then say, "Yeah, go ahead."
Everybody has a boss. So this picture, you guys,
I don't.
you guys were there. Not anymore. You guys were there your senior year. This picture, but Kelly's in that picture. Did they have many girls in the years you guys were working there? They were
Just
working as was she one of the few?
I think it was just her, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was groundbreaking back then. Yeah.
And who's missing in this is Mike Gackey. Gackey was
I forgot about that.
yeah.
Solola too, right?
He'd have been here.
I'm not sure that he was still working there our senior year, but he definitely was our junior year because he did some very funny things that I remember to this day. One of which was when he took the mop bucket, the big mop bucket that we had one that everyone used to clean the store with, and he put it in the walk-in freezer so that the next day
Was
the frozen solid.
Jackie did that.
Gacky did that. He also was working in the meat department at one time and cooked a hamburger on the shrink wrap heating device, the pad that he's cooking a burger on that thing.
I love that story.
Pat, my favorite story is Parry used to answer to your question, we were not allowed to accept tips. And yes, we had to carry out every single order.
There was one lady though that tipped us. Remember her?
We'd fight over her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And
$1
if
bill
the-
on your pocket.
if the customer left their small child in the grocery cart, as you're pushing the grocery cart out to the car, Parry would make faces at the kid to try to make him cry. And
Not every time.
only on the day ending in Y.
Just a weak one.
Right. So one particular day, he loaded up this lady's grocery cart pretty full. And you'd always hand the customer their eggs, right? And the kids in the cart. And off they go to the parking lot. And Parry begins to start his magic on Junior, right? Who's in the seat. And he's paying attention to the kid, and he doesn't notice that mom stops to read the community billboard. So
actually, wait, I got to stop you right there because you're conflating two separate stories.
Oh, am I? All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, that was a separate one. Just kind of making faces at the babies was one thing. No, that what you're thinking of was a time that was summertime and this, pushing groceries out the parking lot. It's a hot night. This woman's wearing flip-flops, and there's some hot girl in the parking lot that catches my eye, and I turn and divert my attention away from pushing the cart. And I don't notice that the woman has stopped, and I run over the back of her heels with the cart, and she went down on her knees.
Totally took her down.
Oh, because I was checking out some girl in the parking lot.
In your orange vest and
looking great. That knit tie.
Knit tie you'd borrow from me.
Greasy hair. Probably hadn't washed it in 2 days.
Hey, so does anybody remember? So again, I said earlier, bagging's an art. Really, if you think about it, right? Canned goods in the bottom, and you can't break the eggs or the bread, or you don't mix the cold things and everything. Did anybody teach you that? Like the older people when you first came in and you were first a bagger, they like, hey, I got to take you under my wing and show you how to bag? And were some people faster? I mean, give me some of that. Was that a whole thing, or really you just kind of came in and you figured it out?
No, they trained us. And I feel like they're not training the baggers these days because we just had a couple experiences where it was a half gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, and a tomato in a can in one of the bags.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well, there was a certification. Remember, after 6 months, you'd have to go to Lansing and take the test.
It was a union, Pat. It was a union gig.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty critical of the folks that do mine nowadays. I keep an eye on them.
Hey, what about Swamp Rat? Didn't he work at Harding's?
Oh, Swampy. Remember, he ran the floor scrubber.
He was more like
career.
He's a career guy.
Yeah. Did you guys invite him?
No, I don't know if he's still alive. Pat, Tim Bailey, alive or dead?
Oh, wow. Good question. Didn't realize that.
Is that someone on our class?
Yeah, his nickname was Bimbo Bailey.
Yeah. I haven't seen him.
And apparently Swamp Rat.
So I don't know if we communicated with him recently, but he's not on the, in memoriam. So I'm assuming he's still out there. So maybe we'll have to make sure like Mike Gackey and Tim and others get this, and Kelly get this recording so they can look at the crew and say, there's that jackass who threw a can at me.
More than one can thrown in the bedroom. Pat, the other famous thing that happened is the incident where I carried out a lady's groceries in the middle of winter, and she put the key in the trunk to open it, and it only went up about yay much. And I could see that her rear defroster had created like an ice shelf, and that was catching the trunk. So I closed the trunk so I could scrape away that ice. Unfortunately, I closed the trunk at the same time she put her head into the trunk to look around what was jamming it. And I popped, like, she would probably be in the concussion protocol. I mean, I popped her hard with the back of with that trunk. And then I got her, I like handed her the eggs, and she's tearing up and everything, right? And she drives off. And then that was on Saturday. Monday morning, I'm at school and I'm walking down the hallway. There's a group of girls standing by their lockers talking, and I hear Joy Hoffman say, "You guys aren't going to believe what happened to my sister over at Harding's this weekend. She got her head closed in the trunk of her car."
Oh my God. Well, Andy, tell me this. So at that age, you don't have the social grace to say, "Oh my gosh, my bad. I'm sorry." Like you're
I
just
did.
telling us that you slammed the lid on her. What did she say?
Well, she came up like
Yeah, what do you do?
she was crying and everything. I did. I apologized and kind of questioned, is she okay? But then I went back in. Todd and I were working together, and I'm like, you're not gonna believe what I just did in the parking lot, right? I don't know how I didn't get fired. I'm sure I'd be fired in this era.
She was concussed.
She was concussed. Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is I wasn't even a part of, and I think Todd, you were. It was when we had the grand opening celebration. When they opened the new store, they brought in a helium tank to fill balloons. And after we got tired of taking hits on the helium and making announcements in the helium voice,
Would you like paper or plastic?
was it Marc, you and Todd? Was it you guys that filled up that bag full of helium? That humongous bag,
Handbag.
and then Mike walked in right when you had that thing filled up, and you threw it behind you, and like tried and stepped on it, and you were like talking to him, he's like asking you what you're doing, blah blah blah, and then his head just like raises up, the bag started floating up to the ceiling. I mean, I wasn't there, but I remember it like I was. Who did that?
I thought
I don't remember.
because I thought it was Joe that was we were talking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Was it Mike?
Joe came before Mike, right?
Yes.
Joe was the head.
Joe was the cleaner. Yeah, they sent him in after Jim Nichols.
He was like, yeah.
No, but we used to fill up those 240 can bags and then tie them off with those little copper, twizzle wire things, and then go out back and let them loose. And I mean, it was just fantastic to see those giant, clear plastic bags filled with helium roaring up into the sky.
Lumbering up into the sky. They went slow.
Diverting air traffic into Midway, no doubt. I mean, that was so much fun. That was
It probably floated over Lake Michigan and some boaters out there. They're like, well, hey,
oh, easily.
random bag out here.
And then Todd, I don't know if you remember, but remember the big, 6 or 8 foot long fluorescent light bulbs that we would have to dispose of?
That I do remember.
We would go out
Whip 'em.
back and we would joust with them. So
What I remember about those light bulbs is Hagenauer, one 4-hour shift. Hagenauer just grabbed a light bulb and walked around the store for 2 or 3 hours, just pretending like he was changing light bulbs, but he just walked around. The one time I thought I was going to get fired was, do you remember the worst shift to have? None of us wanted to have.
Friday from 6 to 11.
No,
Or
the
5
one
to 6.
day, the one
Sunday.
New Year's Day.
ah,
Well,
Yeah, we got paid double though.
my June, did we? Well, it
Union,
really-
thanks to the union. Yeah.
I remember my junior year, I was getting in a little bit of trouble in the evenings my junior year,
Really?
thanks to one guy on this. I know there's one guy on this computer that helped me get in most of this trouble, but I remember I got home at like 4. I had to be at Harding's at 8 to bag groceries, and we were stocking maybe. We weren't stocking, but we had to do something with the shelves.
You're fronting shelves. Yeah.
Fronting. And I remember that I was fronting, and then there was like this little spot in the shelf, and it was like glowing, like it was a perfect place to lay my head down. And I passed out, and Kelly Boyer woke me up. I don't know how long I was sleeping for, but that was always the worst.
So I think we heard about that. Speaking
Marc.
of fronting, for any of you guys that did stocking and fronting, that's always usually done in the middle of the night or dog hours. But the old days, you had to put that stuff, and then of course, depending on how rigid your managers were, you had to make everything look nice. So I'm a consumer coming in to buy. I want to make sure the shelf looks perfectly stocked and everything's even. And they'd come by and audit it. And cans in those days, they didn't always have interlocking cans, and you'd stack cans up, and those freaking things would fall. Before you knock them over, and it'd be just diabolical. Is that part of what you guys did? Not just bagging, but you also had the stock and front and.
Not really.
Different union job. Norm Payne got promoted to night stalker. Remember? Not night stalker.
Oh, right,
night
right,
stalker.
It was a stalker, I bet.
A little of both.
Yeah.
Getting back to the bad hours. So Mark and I got hired at almost the exact same time, except Mark had golf practice, so I started like an hour earlier. So I had seniority over Mark.
For the rest of my career at Hardings, I was one step behind him.
But we would always have the worst shifts together. Usually I would be
That first year.
I would start an hour earlier, and you would start an hour later because you had.
But it was not only the start and end times, it was who had to be out there bagging groceries so late at night.
Right.
And you only needed one bagger, and you and I were on the same shift. I was the one stuck out there.
So Mark and I usually, we're there on Friday nights and Saturday nights because those are the shifts nobody wants to work. So we're usually like in the back room dicking around. And I remember I was wheeling a cart of, we had those big long carts that we would put the bottles in. Mm-hmm. And I was wheeling it through the store. This is the old store. If you remember where the wine area was, it was kind of like an indentation from the rest of the store. And then there was the back door. Bottle.
It was like an alcove, yeah.
Yeah, a little alcove where the wine was, where Chianti was in a wicker basket. I'm wheeling this cart back there, and I see this hand reaching out from the door to the bottle room, and it's feeling the snacks, which is like right around the corner from the door, and it's like fingering the snacks, and it grabs some cheese popcorn. And pulls. It was Mark. Mark's like reaching his hand into the snacks.
We paid for all of our snacks.
Oh yeah, in one way or another.
Right.
I think that the guys in the class ahead of us, and Eric, you were working with those guys. Maybe you were the lowest seniority, but Hagenauer, I think Keel, Hagenauer, Bellinger, and Norm.
Yeah.
That crew.
Yeah.
Keel told me after college that, that crew may or may not have set cases of beer outside. When you were taking the garbage out, they might set a case of beer outside the statute. I think, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, statute's passed on this, right?
I think we're good, yeah.
Yeah.
We did bring our attorney.
Yeah.
Good
I don't
thinking.
think that ever happened.
It was allegedly.
Eric, I think I remember you opening a package of Limburger cheese and letting it sit on the shelf. Is that correct? Remember that?
I don't remember it, but
I can neither confirm or deny.
That was a typical day there.
How can you break things up a little bit?
That's what you did. We just screw around the whole time.
Do you remember how much we made when I first started?
No.
Was it 335? Something like
$314.
314, yes. Right.
How do you remember that?
I mean, think about that. A 5-hour shift, and we made $15 that they took $3 or $4 out. We got $11 for.
Remember the backs of your knees would hurt from standing all day.
Oh, it was hard work, all that fucking around.
Barry, can you remember there were some customers that had clever nicknames? Can you remember any of the nicknames that the customers had?
Boy, I don't.
Do you remember the
hog
rhino?
legs? I remember hog legs.
What about
Hog
the rhino?
The rhino. Oh, I do remember the rhino.
Oh yeah,
like the stinky guy, right?
Oh my God, he smelled so bad. I used to, whenever he'd take his cart out, he used to lean over his cart. And I mean, there was like a glistening sheen of whatever was coming off his body on the handle of the cart.
He was like a Scooby-Doo character.
Right.
I mean, they should have had it out there with a blowtorch, disinfecting it. It was amazing.
Remember
that guy was And why a rhino? I mean, I don't even know, but that's what they called him. They called him the rhino.
Rhino. Yeah, everyone did probably for decades knew him as that.
Yeah, he smelled so bad.
Oh yeah.
It was a great education. When you work that late shift, all kinds of people that
We're coming in. Yeah.
that dare not go out during the day would come in and get their food. So it was really interesting that way. You saw and learned a lot at that job. I will say that very much.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then in the meat department, you had Jeff Wagonmaker.
Wagonmaker, yeah.
And then in the deli, you had Sturts back there holding down the fort.
And then in the later days,
Tim Sturts worked there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about Danny Rabbers the other day.
Oh, sure, you were.
Those are quite the mentors we had.
So,
Well,
boy, there's some stories there that could be told.
Yeah, he had he had a side hustle, didn't he?
he did.
Yeah.
Literal. What was Danny's brother's name? He was the assistant manager.
Yeah.
Rabbers. Yeah, he got me in trouble for because I had written written some graffiti on the walls of the bottle room. I think some might have been in reference to Larry Blahnik's penis. If I remember correctly.
Hey,
How about the cashiers we had?
You guys worked pretty closely with Larry. I went to elementary with Larry, and I always found him to be a super nice guy, just a easygoing kind of a guy. Was he okay with your kind of loud and obnoxious group, or how was he with you guys?
Yeah, he was great. Larry was a character, and he had right over me. So a lot of times it was Larry and Marc and I working these weird shifts. And like I said earlier, a lot of times it would be the three of us in the bottle room and Marc and I sitting down shooting the shit and Larry doing all the work.
Larry was a good sport.
He was.
I
love Larry.
Yeah.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah.
Who asked about the cashiers?
I was just thinking the cashiers. Remember that Rosenthal guy?
Rick Rosenthal. Yeah.
Rosie?
Enjoying the weather?
Enjoying the weather.
Mhm.
I still say that today.
I think we all do it.
Toonie.
Hey, I just talked to Toonie. She works at a grocery store in St. Joe, and she's running the deli.
Dawn ran into her too, I think, at Rogers.
Rogers, that's right. Yeah. So I said to her, like, I ordered something, she brought it over to me. I go, all right, you're not gonna remember me, but think back to Stevensville Hardings. And she goes, how is it that all you guys grow up and got so old? I said,
like she wasn't. She
right.
had to be like 112.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Rena
Nozicka?
Rena. Yeah.
Rena. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Jan.
Linda.
Jan.
Remember Linda?
Were most of these cashiers like housewives, older women? They're not your age. They were.
Yeah. Like
that younger one when we started, was her name Sue? That was kind of.
Yeah. Wasn't she the redhead?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was the redhead. Who was the brunette with the glasses that was younger?
Darlene.
No, I'm thinking of the cashier that hated Parry. Do you remember her name?
Oh, they could narrow it down.
I was going to say narrow it down.
Dahlia.
Was Darlene. Dana, yes.
No, Dahlia.
I don't remember her.
You don't remember Dahlia? Oh man, she had.
Yes. Yeah, she was kind of
She hated you.
Dalea, right?
Yeah, Dahlia.
Wasn't there a Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of older.
Yep.
Yeah, she was nice, I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys pay much attention to, in those days people did? I remember going there and shopping for my mother, and I'd have to bring a check. She'd give me a check, and I'd write out how much, so they obviously took checks, and they probably took cash. I don't think credit cards were as big back then. They certainly didn't have all the point of sale systems you have today. Were there ever people that got up there and either didn't have the money, and they're like, oh shit, I got to put my stuff back, or they had to put some of it back? Or was there ever people that you're like, okay, is that guy a drug dealer because he's got like lots of hundreds in his wallet or something? Did you guys ever notice the money aspect of the whole thing? Or people
Well,
think-
I remember food stamps. Like
Oh, yeah.
the people had the literal booklets, and they were
Yes.
pulling
Yeah,
the
remember-
different colored food stamps off. I
Right.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pat, we were working there when the scanner technology was introduced. Because when we started, it was all those ladies keying in your order, right? They check grocery and 79 cents. And then while we were there is when the scanner technology got introduced.
They started getting UPC codes.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that was like mind blown. Everybody was like, holy shit.
Right.
My life became a lot better.
Yeah.
But funny aspect, nobody ever saw anything crazy like, I don't know, somebody coming in and buying crazy amounts of stuff or crazy amounts of beer or anything. Spending, or you saw the same people coming in and buying hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of groceries. I mean, $100 back then was a lot of groceries.
Groceries, you bet.
I don't remember that, but I do
I don't
remember.
remember.
I'm not going to mention her name, but one of the cashiers got let go because she was passing food items and steaks and stuff.
And not ringing them up, you mean?
Yeah, for her boyfriend. Remember, she got caught doing that.
I do remember that vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you could do back in those days before barcodes and stuff, right?
And cameras. Yeah.
You could just pass through and not count it. So who knows how much on top of what the baggers were
Skimming.
I think it was more like, it was. I think it was like when you'd bag sensitive items, like if you're bagging preparation H, you try not to make eye contact with the customer, stuff like that.
or tucks, for
Condom.
the hemorrhoid pads.
Oh, yeah.
Or
I
men
mean,
buying
I get
Yeah.
those off of Amazon now, so it's a lot easier.
It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot cleaner transaction. Yeah.
I used to have friends bring bottles back, and sometimes I didn't know how to count them very well.
I kind of remember that.
A little
Yeah.
happy on the-
I think we all may have.
That was off.
That's definitely
They were-
$20 worth.
They were so nasty too, all sticky, and they smelled like vinegar, and that was crummy.
Remember, we used to kick field goals with the 2-liter bottles back there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
is that right? I forgot about that. I used to do this thing with Norm Payne, Quick Draw, where I would like throw the 2-liter or the quart bottles of beer to him, and he'd like try to catch him with one hand, and like he'd catch like maybe 30 or 40%. The rest of them would break.
And then we'd shoot bottle caps. Remember back there, we used to.
Oh
have
yeah, we got
Oh,
good at that. I think that's what we were doing when Larry was doing the work. Is we were
chicken
bottle caps.
But Larry liked it. Larry liked doing the
Yeah,
work.
so I didn't work there for a minute, right? And I'm actually not even sure why Pat invited me to be here, but I'm glad he did. But I remember a lot of these stories, but I really remember learning the whole concept of unions from you guys, and because you would talk the whole time, like you're saying now, about who had seniority, and I'm like, what bullshit is that? That makes no sense.
Well,
Then I would also hear Marc, he's in there working New Year's Day making 5 times or something. I'm like, well, damn, that sounds pretty good. So
Okay, but hold on. You lived in the parallel universe of Win Schuler's.
I signed us up for that, but I think I might be the only guy from our class that worked there.
Whole different podcast though.
Yeah.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Ooh, we got some good ones. Yeah. In fact, I saw Steve Barrett at Marion Hagenauer's funeral, and we didn't get into any stories or anything, but we had like a history going back to the Gelanders at
Right. The Gelander brothers, the Clem brothers were in on that racket
Yeah.
too, weren't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking when Pat was talking about that, remember Sean Holder? Perry definitely does.
Sean
Oh
Hodder.
yeah.
Sean Hodder.
Otter.
Yeah. He
Yes.
worked there. He was a Lakeshore guy, but
Right, River Valley guy.
we had some fucking oh boy. We wouldn't put it. We never mind. I didn't mention anything. Let's move on. Pat, what's the next subject?
Well,
I'm interested in-
speaking of union, I was just thinking the other day. I mean, we were members of the AFL-CIO or something like that. I don't know what it was, but do you remember I don't know if you guys remember when they introduced plastic bags. I mean, we were all against it.
Oh yeah.
We were very much against it. And, I remember, I was always pushing paper bags over plastic. And then I remember one time the AFL, whoever our union rep was, came to the door, and we all got together and we presented this list of demands or something like that we wanted to address, and we didn't want to be forced to use plastic bags. And I just remember to this day, handing this guy this list of concerns that we had. And just the way he laughed was just, I can't get that out of my mind.
I would like to have that list.
It's like if your dog just suddenly stood up on his hind legs and asked for the car keys or something like that. I mean, it was so, I can still remember how
that ridiculous.
He didn't pat me on the head, but his laugh was so.
But in a way, he did. He did.
Very good beer.
Negro.
Is that the one I
His laugh was that dismissive.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy, you know me, I've never had an original thought, but I know when I hear something funny. It's like if your dog stood on his hind legs and asked for the car keys. You're down. Got it. I didn't think of it, but I got it.
You'd both be, astonished and touched. And that's what that guy was like, some hardened, broken-nosed AFL-CIO guy from Detroit, and here's some freaking bagger wanted to complain to him about paper and plastic. It's hilarious.
He's a personal friend of Jimmy Hoffa.
Threw up on the streets, hitting people with baseball bats.
He buried Hoffa, but he's
Buried
gonna
Hoffa. Where is that?
It's interesting though. I didn't realize plastic bags were around that long ago. Can we bring that up? So you're saying like the products we use in the store today, you're saying they were starting to bring them in back in the 80s?
Oh God, whenever that was. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was right after they went from steam to diesel. I think it was.
Well, I think our children are probably saying, "I wish you would have fought harder."
Yeah.
I love those plastic bags. The environment. So, hey guys, we could kind of wrap this up, and I really appreciate people jumping in. But if you don't mind, let's just indulge me a little bit here. I'm just going to ask a little round robin here. So, Parry, give us a quick second on what's your side hustle. What do you do for a living?
When you're not bagging. When you're not bagging.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I'm not at the grocery store, like showing off my bagging skills, which I will do.
All right.
Speaking of baggage,
well, we can get a paper bag out, and you guys can have a contest right now, so you can bag this up fastest. No, but seriously, what do you do?
So I work in advertising. I'm a creative director, copywriter, make TV commercials and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Really, isn't that similar to what does Paul Luker do that out in California? Something similar marketing and
he does. He's kind of in a different branch of advertising. He's in like shopper marketing, which is more like in-store marketing or in restaurant marketing, that kind of thing. It's
okay. I love it. By the way, while I'm asking these questions, I now have to give Tony a beer since I'm the designated beer boy in the barrel here. Hey,
frozen cup too.
Frozen cup too. Hey, and Parry, I would just say you are
It's a good life there.
So I'm thinking that advertising found you and you found advertising, because your creative mind is probably genius in advertising. So I love it. Erich, I think I saw your email and I think I saw your website. You have the Queen's dog. Does the Queen know you stole her dog?
The Queen's dog. Oh yeah, Henry,
Yeah,
poor
Courtney,
guy.
right?
Nah, he croaked about a year or so ago. He got to be 15 years old, so he had a good run.
That's a good run.
Sorry to hear that. You're gonna get a new one?
Sorry to hear that.
It's hard. I mean, I got two other dogs. They're English shepherds, but man, if anybody's ever had a corgi, I don't know how you could replace him. He was one of a kind. He was a good dog.
Nice. And so out in Washington, you've got what, a lock and safe business? What do you do?
That's it. Yeah, I'm a locksmith.
So you could get into the Harding safe if we need you to.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, Eric, not so I not unlike Andy. I follow YouTube. I saw a guy with a piece of plastic today who could get through hotel locks, and you know the ones that you cover. Are you familiar with that? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
You know what I mean? Where you fold the metal over the little pin, or you got that under control.
That's right.
He's way beyond that. He's Yoda phase past that, dude. Come on, he's way past that.
No, buy a gun. There's no such thing as security.
Amen.
You can get past everything.
I can tell you, Tony's got plenty of those down here on the farm.
What about a Rottweiler?
Hey, Mark, other than St. Joe City Council and you and Mike tormenting the citizens of St. Joe with whatever problems they're trying to hold back all the problems they have. You have your buildings, and I think you told me at the reunion you got some side hustles like some businesses, storage places and everything that are cash streams for you.
Yeah, so I did a few things out of college, but almost 29 years ago to the day, I decided to leave Whirlpool and went to work with my dad. My dad had a little construction business, and 29 years later, I'm still doing it. But yeah, you're right. About 6-7 years ago, I decided to get into storage. I have a handful of storage complexes. We do new construction houses. Mostly, I do post frame buildings, and actually, kind of one of the new things that we're doing, I probably do 4 or 5 a year, is barndominiums. And if you're a real man, you would build a barndominium versus a
Sniper tower
house, because they're more economical, they're more open. You can build towers onto them if you want, but
can you put a turret on it?
So about 10 years ago, I got a phone call from someone who said, because we built pole barns for farmers and backyard barns, and someone called and said, "Hey, I want you to build me a pole barn and we want to live in it." And I said, "You don't understand what these are. You don't live in these things." And he said, "Well, that's what I want to do." So we looked into it. We built this thing, and pretty much it's 80% of my business right now is doing residential barndominiums. So.
Wow.
Well, okay, Mark, what do you do when a guy comes? He's got a great barndominium. He's got just a little house with a bathroom and a little bedroom, and then a huge barn next to it, where he can put all the cool stuff and park side by sides and 4-wheelers and Argos and have a lot of fun. And then you design it, and then his girlfriend says, "No, we're not doing that." What do you do?
I won't work with somebody like that.
Hypothetical. Let's say he's got 58 and raising peacocks. How do you sell him through that?
I would probably sit him down and first tell him to probably grow a pair, and build a barndominium.
Who owns the land? I think you need to make the decision. I love it.
That's good.
How about a standalone golf simulator in the backyard? What's that going to run?
I'm sorry, standalone golf course?
I actually just finished a standalone golf simulator in a guy's backyard. So we're doing a lot of those now too.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Bolingbrook, Illinois?
Yeah. So I'm in Bolingbrook. My company makes appliance controls. I've been doing it 23 years. I manage the water product lines for them. So we have global manufacturing. Most of my stuff's in Mexico. We work with Whirlpool and GE and all the OEMs. So it's a rough business, but I'm made a career out of it, I guess.
Good on you. 23 years. That's a pretty good run.
And Andy, we all talk.
Can we before we go to the next guy, can we get Schmaltz under control? I don't know if he's building a birdhouse back there, or what's he doing?
He's fine.
What is the sound coming out of that?
He rubs his phone up against his face.
What is he? Yeah, I mean,
he's on his phone. Michael,
did he get is he working on the furnace? Is that what happened?
Mike, don't take that shit.
Mike,
give him some shit.
Hey, it's not bullying if you're almost 60.
That's right. Yeah, I dedicated this hour to this podcast. So, Mike, you need to do the same.
Hey, we know that Andy's.
No, I've been here the whole time listening. It's just I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Yeah.
Well,
look
you
at
are.
that. Michael, good way to be. He's playing.
As it turns out,
Well, put the crescent wrench down.
Yeah. Leave that furnace alone.
It's rough out
Nah,
here.
this place doesn't have a furnace. It's got a boiler room and radiators.
Okay, well, we'll work on those later.
Hey, in this group here, we've got a guy that could build us a building, a guy that can advertise and show everybody why it's the greatest building in the world, the barn dominium. We got a guy that can secure it with locks or do anything we need from the security. We got a lawyer who can make sure nobody steals our ideas. We got a
We have a lawyer.
guy who can figure out all the water, all the appliances or stuff internally. We got an investment guy, so when we make our $1 million, he can tell us where to put it, so our company keeps growing. So maybe we start the barn dominium. Marc's already got that covered, but
I'm sure he's really hoping we can get involved.
yeah. No,
I'll send you my resume, Marc.
and I know you guys all get back to St. Joe, Stevensville area. I'm just here visiting with Tony. I'm actually driving through, believe it or not, between here and Indianapolis.
Andy, you know where we went to dinner? Did we get that on the?
Yeah, where'd it go, Andy?
These days.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
What'd you get, Tony?
when Tony gets in the corner, he got a steak, and he gets in the corner, and the guys all know him. So the first thing is, everybody's like, "Oh, hey, Tony." He's like Norm, like at Cheers, right? Everybody's like, "Hey, Tony," and the guy knows his order. "Hey, Tony, I get your Bud Light." And Tony says, "Pounding the Bud Light," right? And some lady sits down next to him, and I said she was his cougar, and he said she was more like a googer, and so she's hitting on Tony the whole night. And I'm just trying to have a conversation because I ain't seen this guy in forever. And this woman's just like, "Oh yeah, I heard that too. Yeah. Oh, you guys went to school together." And she's putting that kind of story she can put into our story. And Tony starts eating it up. I think Tony's got a new friend for every night he wants to go over to TC's. He's got a woman that's going to sit next to him at the bar.
And I'm telling Pat, that's the key. That's the key out there. You just gotta be friends with everybody. You gotta just treat everyone special.
You should have
And
seen
then
the
you
look of
find
neighbor
it.
when she said,
You're like
Tony was a
Jesus. You love them all.
Oh yeah. Even
He
if
said-
they're a Trumper, you'd still treat them the
I
same
said he
way.
was a liberal, and she gave him a side eye, and then she said he was conservative. You should have seen with Tony. Tony's
Then
like,
she
"Oh."
tells me she's a liberal conservative. So I got that out of her, Perry. I call her a win.
Yeah.
You know, we're in Indiana. I told her I got more guns than everybody in this place. I don't care about you guys.
But Tony got her number because you never know when you need a slump buster.
Or I need a new grandma. Come on. I date women my own age, like in the early 40s.
Hey, stay tuned to everything on the line. If you guys see these videos, I'll send y'all a text with the video. If anybody hasn't filled out the survey, fill it out. Just want your information. We're going to probably do a 45th. It's a great group of your classmates that does a lot of planning around these events. We just want to keep in touch with people. I do have information on people. So if you're looking for somebody, Andy, I know you carried that book for many years. Nancy did it for many years. It's really nice to see faces. For anybody that's hiding, we're going to let them continue to hide. There are certainly people in our class that don't want to be communicated with.
Now root them out.
No, but there's definitely a group, 50, 100 of us still left that want to chat every once in a while and keep in touch. I know you guys all do. So it's great seeing everybody's faces. Thanks for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it. And
Well, anybody want to make a
Wait. Before we
statement?
go, I want to tell a story about Pat. My favorite Pat story
oh wow,
was when we were in the auditorium. We were in the auditorium, and there was some guy talking about computers. I don't know if he was from. I don't remember even where he was from, but I remember Mr. Bevilacqua was on the stage talking to him, and Pat had one of those tracer guns that shot discs, and he shot a disc, and it went right between their faces. And Mr. Bevilacqua flinched, and he kind of did like a side eye look. He was so pissed. He was trying to impress this guy with his, and I mean, their faces were like.
Forgot. I do not remember that. I can tell you that I remember Bennick's breath. That guy had the strongest coffee breath of anybody we ever knew, and that guy would get red in the face if he got mad in computer class.
Oh yeah.
All screwed around.
Tony, you want to tell that story, Tony?
Barry, I think you.
I took one. I took one from Tony.
I was blamed for it. Right?
I was blamed for it.
Harry was blamed for it.
Reverse that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did it? You were blamed for it. I was
You
making.
were in Cobalt, computer Cobalt class.
Yeah.
I was in that class.
In Tony's in the.
Sure wasn't Fortran.
It might have been Fortran.
Tony, wait a minute. I thought it was after Caddyshack, and you were doing your Ted Knight noises.
Yes, he was. He was going. Mr. Domenican is up at the board, like writing something on the chalkboard, and Tony's going. And he turns around and starts yelling at me.
At Parry.
Spit flying out. He was like Pat. You were saying like his face was just. I think you were probably in that class. Just beat red, just screaming, and I actually kind of felt bad for him a little bit because he had gotten it so wrong.
He was so overworked.
I just said there, I took it. Like,
and did I stand up and say, "No, Mr. Bevilacqua, I'm sorry. Don't blame him. It was me"?
No.
No.
No. In fact, I think you were sitting there thinking, "Boy, I'm sure glad I'm not him right now."
And no, I was thinking he probably would have done it if I hadn't. So
That's good.
Yeah. One more. Schmaltz will remember this one. You guys,
can't see him. Who?
You guys remember that a lot of different classes did different kind of class pranks? You remember the one class before us? The ball bearings down the hall, and they're all down the hall.
Yeah.
So you guys remember you could take a Papermate pen, pull the bottom off of it, like cut the little circle out of the bottom, put one of those little ball bearings on it, and then burn with a lighter. And then you take that and scratch it on a book or on a surface, and it would get really hot. Schmaltz remembers this one. And people used to burn each other all day long. You'd be sitting there in class, and somebody burn you with the damn ball bearing in the bottom of a pen. You'd be like, "Ow!" And then the teacher would scream at you. And you're like, "He just burned me. Shut up. Go to see the principal." And you, Schmaltz, remember that? We used to burn the shit out of people all the time with those stupid ball bearings.
Yeah.
All the crazy things that happen in our high school. Well, it's good to see everybody. Any more funny stories, Perry? I did not remember that one. That brought a smile on my face. Thank you. I'm glad.
Well, I just want to say about getting back to Harding's. I mean, that, again, for ne'er-do-well, in the midst of adolescence, young males, that was the best place in the world to work. And I think of those late nights. You guys remember, closing at 11, 12, whatever it was, rounding up the carts out in that parking lot. And
out in the heat.
Oh,
the heat of the summer, quiet night.
Yeah, just rounding up those carts all by yourself, rounding up those carts. And then the winter, pushing those carts through all the slush. Remember that?
There are no cart corrals back then, were there?
Oh, no, heck no.
It's all over, yeah.
Pick them up. That's a whole job.
It was a great job. It was a great job.
That's awesome, guys. Well, thanks for sharing the memories. Anybody, any last thoughts? Schmaltz, you got anything to say to the group?
Well, it was nice to see everybody, hear everybody, and hear some funny stories. I can relate. I worked my share of retail in my younger days.
Pat, thanks for doing these.
Yeah.
One last one before you go.
Well done,
Schmaltz and I talked about this before. I forgot to ask you guys this question. You guys remember Jewel Osco, right? So before Meijer, before Walmart, they had Jewel and Osco out there on Hilltop.
Yeah.
Groceries on one side and other stuff on the other side. And Harding's obviously only had groceries. Do you guys remember there was a grocery store in downtown Stevensville? Wasn't it called Browse?
Yeah.
Browse Market, right? Everybody remember that?
Sure. Right on the corner. It's right on the corner.
Yeah.
So that was like a competitor to Harding. But Harding's was the big one in town, right? Anybody wanted a lot of groceries that pretty much went to Harding's, right?
Yeah.
Because Browse is just small.
Browse, yeah. Didn't they support a Little League team?
Probably.
Do you remember that?
Bill's Tap.
Browse, yeah. I'll bet they did. I'll bet they supported a Little League team. That's how I remember them.
And then at the other end of the street down there, you had Stanczyk's Pharmacy.
Stanczyk's,
yeah.
Good old days, boys. Hey, it's great seeing everybody. Glad everybody's healthy. I'll send out a link to this. And thanks for taking the time. Be safe. Enjoy. Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your families. Be safe. All right.
Yeah. Have a good Christmas.
Thanks,
Take care.
Pat.
Good seeing you guys.
Ciao.
All right.
Okay.
See ya.